everybody, welcome back to Fly Me to the Philippines.
Welcome back, everybody. Today, how do you find a low-maintenance Filipina? Oh my God, boots on the ground, online. What are the questions to ask? How do you know if you're being scammed? Chrissy, you are giving away a free 41-question relationship assessment tool. But before you get to that point, people want to know, how do you find what is the sweet spot? What would be a low-maintenance Filipina, a true old-school Filipina living in 1965 with a body count of 0 or 1 or 2?
Did you find one?
I think I found one. We've had about 250 of the 800 clients in the last 2 years who've found success. Just this week, a 76-year-old man wrote me and said he moved in together, and a 69-year-old man sent us pictures of the engagement ring on his 3rd trip to the Philippines. Did they find failure at first?
Yes, every one of them fell on their face before succeeding.
Everybody has failure before they succeed. Many are scammed. Many meet the wrong person out of the gate. Chrissy, you're like Columbo, Sherlock Holmes, Remington Steele, Sam Spade, Mike Hammer, Kojak with the lollipop. Today, men want to know what you're finding in these background checks and what they need to do to succeed. They want to know how to find the sweet spot, how to find a low-maintenance Filipina. If somebody walked up to you on the street and said, Chrissy, give me 3 things, 3 tips, what would you say to them?
Find the natural-looking Filipina, find the genuine one, and the one that doesn't ask money.
So, Chrissy, you've developed actually not 3 questions, but 41 questions in a relationship assessment tool. It's being given away for free. And after hundreds and hundreds of consultations with Western men who've met Filipinas online, who've come and made the trip and met them in person, you've created these 41 questions. We're going to go ahead and read these 41 questions to you. And afterwards, if you want to take this relationship assessment test yourself. It's an interactive tool. You can scan the QR code or find the link in the description box and the first pinned comment. Everybody gets points, and there's different points. Not every question earns the same amount of points. And we're going to come to one question. Have you sent money before you've met the person? You're going to lose huge points. And we're not going to go right now and tell you how many points each question is weighted. When you take it yourself, you'll see and you'll get your score. Let's go ahead
to the question number 1.
Let's see what question number 1 is.
How was the initial contact being made?
That's super important. Now, in our book, A Western Man's Guide to Dating in Asia and the Philippines, we coach if they contact you first on a dating app, on Facebook, any other method, avoid following up. Never pursue somebody
that contacts you first, because most likely all the women that will contact you first are a member of an organized crime or a woman that have done this scamming before, and she already know what to do, and she knows who are the perfect target. So for the people who already know who's the target, most likely they're the one that can approach you first. For the question number 2, what is the video chat frequency? This is the most important thing to verify if the Filipina is true, or you are talking to some man hiding in the basement.
You could lose a lot of points on this one. Now, Chrissy, I've shared this before. We've done about 800 consultations. We have over 100 men. We just had one last week with $1,000. And the week before, 1,500 we talked about. Over 100 men have admitted to sending between $2,000 and $142,500 without ever video chatting. Well, actually half of those men, all of them never met, and half sent without any video check.
Question number 3 is, what do you see in the environment during video call?
Yeah, I think we've learned if it's plaster, drywall, a call center environment, this is very suspicious, right?
Yes, and if she can't call you inside the house, it means she has hiding a husband in there. Question number 4, identity verification. Did she show you any valid IDs?
Yeah, now we coach men on the 2nd or 3rd video chat, cover the number on your passport, hold it up and tell her you're going to be transparent. Here's my age, here's my name, here's the city I live in. And we talk about showing what's in your closet. There's no women's clothes. Have you done this together? That's question number 4.
Question number 5, verification of the location.
The blue dot, you can minimize your video chat, open up a mapping, Apple Map, Google Maps, and walk up to a mirror and show her your blue dot. You can squeeze it so you don't show her what street you're on. Have you done that?
Question number 6, has he given a video tour of her house?
Yeah, I just mentioned that. Transparent, a video tour, no women's clothes in your closet, no men's clothes in her closet.
Question number 7 is profile authenticity check. If you see a profile picture that is like photoshopped and just look like a model, it's a red flag.
If you've had a video chat, that's checked. That's how you check the authenticity of the photos that she had on her profile.
Question number 8, transportation mode.
Chrissy, if she owns a private car.
Somebody bought that car, especially if she's unemployed.
Yeah.
Question number 9, living situation.
Yeah, Chrissy, what do you think about that? She should be like living in a province house, so she should have whole roosters crowing, right?
Well, if you want a low maintenance Filipina, you will see it on where she lives and how she lives her life.
Yeah, if she's in a condo in Cebu City, it's trouble.
Number 10 is how eager she is for you to meet the family.
Yeah, Chrissy, you're always saying this. She doesn't want you to meet the family at the end of the first week of being in person. Super red flag.
Yeah, she probably have introduced already somebody else. Number 11 is platform origin.
You know, we've said this before. 800 plus consultations. We have had 1 or 2 Tinder meetings that went well, but not many. It's mostly the basic membership on Filipino Cupid and the basic membership on Christian Filipina. Not the premium membership, surprisingly, but the basic membership there leads to some success. And Pina Love has been okay. Dating in Asia has been okay. If you met on Facebook and she made the first move, forget about it.
Like we always say, the fish that you catch will depend on what pond you're fishing.
Not your skill with a rod and reel.
Number 12, family introduction and video.
Yeah, has she introduced, usually there's 12 to a house. Everybody's living, with curtains for doors. And it's impossible to have quality video chat morning, evening. And if she hasn't introduced you to brothers and parents, has it happened? It's important because it leads to an assessment as to the quality of your relationship.
Okay, next is the internet access consistency.
Yeah, what's going on with the internet? Is she talking at a piso box at a sari store? Does she have unlimited free Wi-Fi? Can you only call her when she says she has Wi-Fi? Can you call her anytime she picks up?
Next is the big one, the request of money.
The request for money. Has she hinted, asked, or accepted before you meet her in person? Now, Chrissy, I got to admit, on day 16, it was your birthday. Mm-hmm. And you had these wired headphones, mm-hmm. and they were getting in the way all the time because we were talking like 5 hours a day. And I begged you to let me send you $25 US for a cheap pair of headphones. You turned me down a dozen times, but eventually I just kept insisting, and you went out and bought a very cheap Android set of headphones, wireless, made our lives a lot better. So we would have lost a lot of points.
Well, that answers the next question. Did you send money?
Did you actually send? Did she ask is one question. Did you send? So you didn't ask, but I did send.
Next is education and communication skills.
I think, the vast majority of our clients have met a college-educated woman who speaks very good English. Those that struggle in communication, they tend to struggle in other areas as well.
Next is children's status.
Chrissy, everybody wants to meet a 35-year-old nursing student with no children who's got model looks and a great body. That's going to be a scammer. Of the 200 to 300 men that have found success in our program, the vast 90+% have met a woman with 1 or 2 children. What we say, Chrissy, is only one baby daddy. Never get 2 sets of in-laws. One baby daddy, yeah.
Next is the control of schedule.
Yeah, Chrissy, is she very rigid on when she'll allow a video call or when she will allow a phone call? This is a very particular item you have to watch because someone who controls may be talking to very many men.
Mm-hmm. If you cannot call her anytime by your own schedule, that's going to be a red flag. Next is the OFW or Overseas Foreign Workers History.
This is a very challenging category. Overseas foreign workers show a lot of initiative. They got get up and go. They don't take poverty. And they're going to go make their own, but they leave 1965. They time travel into the future. and we talk about your cousin making $2,000 a year in Vietnam, that woman has already left 1965. And you have to disintermediate her from that money, and you're going to be responsible for that $2,000 every month.
Most of the time, what I've heard from them is that I don't need a man. Next will be the foreigner dating history.
Yeah, in a perfect world, she's never gone on a date with a foreigner. Now, Chrissy, you had spoken to some foreigners and you met some scammers, but you'd never gone on an actual physical date with a foreigner.
Not in person.
And once a foreigner's gone on a physical date with a Filipina, that brings her a little bit into the future. It gives something for her to benchmark you against. It's not ideal, and we take a few points away for that.
Next is the current location.
If she says she's in America or in Europe, these are almost always scammers. And if she's in Dubai and working in real estate or as a waitress, that's not ideal, in meeting rich men and serving tables. If she's changing adult diapers in Kuwait, again, she's making 2 or 3 times what you could earn in the Philippines, but not as bad as working in a commercial office in Dubai, for example.
Next is the sexual history.
Yeah, does she share her backstory? Has she had 0, 1, or 2 partners only? Or has she, does she have a tattoo on her breast? And was she a bar
That was the
girl?
question next. How's the tattoo?
Yeah,
body art.
Next question. A woman living in the past, I said, Chrissy, in the Philippines, it wasn't that long ago, a man had to learn how to play the guitar so he could serenade you on the balcony. Women with body art on Tinder, making the first move. Sometimes they'll have discreet little tattoos. We don't consider that too much, but it shows a sense of liberation for the woman. Yeah.
Next will be the age bracket.
Yeah. So, Chrissy, in your social media reviews, women who are in college, 20-year-old women, 21-year-old women, they fail at an amazingly high rate.
Yes.
And older women who are like 47 to 55, they fail at a very high rate also.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure why. I know the younger women have not completed growing. Your synapses in your brain don't end until you're 27.
Well, just imagine to harvest a premature crop.
There you go.
Next is the family planning. Do you want to have kids or you don't want kids anymore?
Yeah, you got to be careful that you don't pluck a woman with no children out of the Philippines and she says, no problem. Very rare for a 28-year-old woman with no children to say she wants no children. So a match on that is very important.
Yes, next is the social media transparency.
Yeah, have you been able to find her social media? Is she totally transparent? Are you Facebook friends on a real page?
Did she deny her page?
Yeah, did she deny the real page that Chrissy ends up finding?
Next is the jealousy patterns.
Chrissy, women in the Philippines are very jealous, like Latin women. I say that most of the men will find an ideal Filipino who already has 1 or 2 children and has been devastated by a Filipino man who became a drunk, cheated, disappeared, lied, gambled, did drugs. Then they're going to have a little bit of PTSD and they're going to have a little bit more jealousy than you're used to. But is it outrageous? This is important. If you're noticing it's outrageous early on, it doesn't lend itself well to long-term success.
Next is the level of tampo.
Tampo. In the Philippines, nobody, men or women, like to resolve problems when the water's boiling. They all like to let emotions cool before addressing. And really, people don't come directly at problems. They kind of tell their neighbors that they don't like something and the word will get back. Indirect. So, but you need to make sure that you don't sign up for a life of misery and indirect passive-aggressive behavior.
Next is the family relationships.
Chrissy puts a lot of weight on this. If the woman is estranged from her family, doesn't have social media with her family, doesn't want you to meet the family, Chrissy's going to take some points off here.
Next is her online hours.
Yeah, is she online at 3 a.m.? When you first met her, was she up at 3 a.m.? Do you see her online all the time? And who's she talking to? And, you really want to first reach out to a woman who was online in the last 24 hours, but at a normal time of day.
Next is the family vices.
Yeah, a bottle of rum, a big bottle of rum, you can buy for like $2 here. And there can be alcoholics, shabu, which is speed. There could be gambling. There could be bad financial behavior, loans. Men can be aggressive with women. There can be all kinds of problems. And you want to make sure you find a good family without an alcohol problem, a drug problem. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next is the financial expectations.
Yeah, if the woman lets you know, hey, I'm looking for someone to solve my financial problems. I'm here online because my family's poor and my mother's got cancer, and I'm just here to find a transactional solution. I don't like it.
Well, as long as she's honest about it at the very beginning, I think a lot of men will do that.
The men want to get on the white horse and solve problems, but you really deserve a love relationship. It's possible to find one. The bigger the age gap, the stranger the age gap, the harder it is, but it is very doable. Yeah.
Next is the dress code, how she dress up.
Yeah, if she's twerking on TikTok, she fails.
If she's wearing those see-through dress in public, she fails.
Yeah.
Next is the religion. Is religion really matters to you?
If you come out and you say you're an atheist, not many women in the Philippines are going to be willing to embrace you. But if you don't emphasize it, if you want her to take religion and make it a little bit less important and match you, it's very doable. But 80% of the Filipinos go to church and they're quite religious, but they tend to be joiners and followers. So if you want to go hiking on Sunday, she'll probably go hiking on Sunday with you more than go to church.
Filipinos will tell you if you don't believe in God, you're not afraid to do things against God's will. Next, sibling rank. Is she the eldest or the youngest or the middle? Why does it matter?
Well, Chrissy, you're the oldest and you had to drop out of high school and clean houses when you were 14, 15. You graduated college 2 years late because of it. There are a lot of super mature, crazy intelligent Filipinas who needed to make money to pay for their siblings because their fathers disappeared, their mothers passed away. You can find really mature women, even though there's a big age gap, because of, especially if they're the oldest. And the oldest takes a burden to be the breadwinner. And they quite often go overseas.
The pressure. Yeah. It's one thing that you need to lift your Filipina up from poverty. It's other thing that you need to carry along with her, the family.
So Chrissy, let me just mention, on the screen, we've had the QR code. At any time, they can stop the video and just hold the camera of their smartphone, and it'll take you right to the relationship assessment test. It's totally free. It doesn't reside on the cloud. It just resides on your phone or your laptop. And if you want to share the results with Chrissy and get her feedback, you can. But otherwise, it's just a totally private assessment you can take of your own relationship. It works better if you haven't met yet in person, but it also works if you've met in person. You'll remember some of the answers from before you met. So at any time, go ahead and launch the quiz if you want.
Yes. Next is the employment status. Is she working and does she live according to the lifestyle that her salary could afford? Or is she unemployed yet she's going to the resort and a lot of vacations?
Well, I think that says it all. Next.
Humor and compatibility.
Yeah, I always tell men to forget the sarcasm, but a good sense of humor is valuable. And you're compatible. You got to find your best friend. You only want to do this one more time, gentlemen. And if she's gorgeous and she's charming, that's all well and done. But how compatible are you? Can this woman talk to you about current events? Can you tell her about Napoleon if she doesn't really know the history? Chrissy and I were watching the history of Rome and Julius Caesar just last week, and Chrissy was just eating it up like as somebody who she'd been briefed on it, but she never really heard the story of Cleopatra and Julius Caesar. And I was loving how she was so motivated by the topic.
Next is consistency check.
Yeah. Does her story stay the same? This is anybody, whether you're interviewing an employee or just checking on anybody. Are they consistently the same person? Do some of the details change? Has she, for some reason, contradicted herself? And that's a big red flag.
Next is the dating profile presentation.
Yeah, when you found her online, where there are filtered photos, a lot of women will misrepresent their age or their marital status, but fess up quickly. And men will say, okay. And you know, Chrissy, you used a different name, and you told me the very first time we talked, your name wasn't that. Your name was Chrissy.
It was a staged name.
A staged name. So how was the profile presented? Was it true to form?
What's important is basic details about the family, their marital status, how children, how many children you have, education, and all that. That's the most important thing. Now, since I mentioned about the marital status, question number 41 is, did you ask for a SENOMAR or a certificate of no marriage?
Yeah, and you know, it's illegal to cohabitate with a married woman in the Philippines. You can be charged with concubinage. Now, we talked to a man recently who, she was married to a foreigner, and he's left to go back to that country. He's not very much at risk, even though she's legally married. And then the other end of the spectrum is he was against the separation. He's angry. He's drunk. He lives 3 blocks away. You don't want to come and stay in her hometown with that man. He's going to go get the barangay captain on you, and you could be in a world of hurt. So if you go to PSA Help, for about $10, you can upload one of her documents, and they will deliver to her a certificate of no marriage. Okay, Chrissy, 41 questions that you have developed, and men get a high risk, a moderate risk, a low risk, and I think there's 4 categories. They can take this test right here with the QR code. 6 minutes to take this test.
Yeah.
You can send Chrissy the results and get her opinion on this. The results, how close a correlation is there to these background social media reviews that you do? The high-risk men usually fail?
Yes, they usually fail.
They usually fail.
You know, I think the level of the result that is really triggering is that when the result will say, go ask for help from Chrissy.
Yeah, right. So we do this as a service. When I was on the other side of the camera and I was back in the West, I got scammed the first time out. I sent somebody $100. I quit. And then I got scammed. I talked to a woman for 60 days, Chrissy, and she turned out to be engaged to a man from Ohio. And I found out when I found her mother's Facebook page. I've told that story. There was no service like this available. And yeah, they're really, and you know, some of the dating apps claim that they'll do some background checking. They claim they'll tell you if you pay stupid money, they'll tell you if she's still online. I don't find much value in that because there are a dozen dating apps. Why would she stay on the same dating app talking to other men? She would choose a different dating app.
Or she could be dating some local guys.
Or she could be
doesn't need to be in the
Chrissy, in these background reviews, you have found husbands, ex-husbands on vacation, you found children, we found a woman who claimed never to be married and to be a no boyfriend since birth, and we found her married name online.
Yes, and ladyboys that pretended to be a woman.
2 ladyboys a month. We found women who have terrible debt, and people are hounding them for for collection. They've had to take down their social media, and Chrissy has found the tags. And recently, Chrissy, we've been having this problem where women are creating these temporary new Facebook pages, social media presences, and then they're doing the nasty deed where the page with 2,000 friends that they've had from the age of 14, they're doing what to the men?
They block.
They block. And Chrissy, every time we do one of these reviews, you send the man the link if you find the real page, and quite often you do. About 50% of the time, the man has been blocked. And that to you is one of the major red flags.
Yeah, sometimes you're very confident about her because you're friends on Facebook, but you're not really friends on the official main page, because you're blocked from there.
Never get on an airplane and travel to Asia or the Philippines to see a woman if you have not done a social media review. We have a 15-page PDF that will teach you how to do one yourself. If you feel like you've got the skills, you can translate the language, you know how to find the pages with the reverse names and the children's names combined. Write to us at Fly Me to the Philippines. gmail.com, and do it yourself. Or Chrissy's available, and just take the relationship assessment test or write to us at Fly Me to the Philippines and move forward with confidence. Chrissy, if they pass, and 40% of the women pass, and what happens? For the cost of dinner out with a couple of glasses of wine, a man jumps off that plane with a skip in his step. And if she fails, if he finds out she blocked him on her 2,000 friend page that she had from the age of 14, that's information you can act on.
Yes, if you're gonna get our help, two things that could happen. One is you're gonna find out the truth and will save you for a lot of time, emotion, and money. Second is you're gonna have the peace of mind and proceed.
We tell men 15 days, no hinting, no asking for money, and no accepting money. For 15 days, quality video chat. Do the background check, either yourself or with us, and then get here quickly, because your superpower is you can fly. These women have quite often been scammed and lied to, and they've married men and men in a Holiday Inn for 2 nights and then need a little entertainment. They've been victimized by a lot of scammers themselves. So when you can get on a plane and get here within a month or 6 weeks or 8 weeks, you have a superpower. In addition to Chrissy's social media assessment test, now you have 2 superpowers. Till next time.
Only here from Fly Me to the Philippines.